So I decided the first topic should be whether or not art is a real job. The reason this comes to mind is because one of my jobs is a graphic novel. I am helping to write and draw an upcoming graphic novel series, and that kind of artistic ability, whether it's the writing or the drawing itself, tends to fall under the category of not a real job in a lot of people's minds. Now, I'm aware of the fact that art is viewed differently depending on what country you're in and what culture you're part of, but where I come from, it's kind of frowned upon if you say that it's your job. If you draw, paint, sculpt, do music, act, any of that kind of thing, people just kind of look at you funny when you say that's what you're passionate about, and most of them say something along the lines of, well, you're never going to make a living doing that, so why are you doing it, or what's your real job? And I find that really obnoxious because 9 times out of 10, at least in my experience, the people who are asking these rude questions just have a desk job in an office anyway, and I'm like, well, okay, maybe yours is considered a real job, but here you are working a 9 to 5 job, Monday through Friday, in the same boring place, doing the same boring thing, just looking at a computer screen all day long and not doing what really makes you happy. You're just doing it because you like the paycheck that you get, and they admit this to me. And at least I'm doing what I know makes me happy. I'm doing what I'm passionate about. And I don't understand why that's such a big problem to people, because me doing art doesn't affect them negatively in the slightest. It doesn't hurt them. I still have enough money that I can pay my rent, I can pay for my groceries, I can pay for my medical bills, I can pay for whatever I need to pay for, so why does it matter? And okay, I understand a common argument for this is going to be, well, not everyone can afford to pay for their way of life just by doing art, but you don't have to dump all over their creative passion if you think that's a problem. Instead, sit them down someplace privately and say, listen, I'm really happy that you found something that you're passionate about. I'm happy that you found something that makes you happy, and I want you to continue on this path and to never give up on your dreams. However, I need some help in the house. I'm having trouble making ends meet by myself. Would you consider please taking up a part-time job to help pay some of the bills? And then the rest of your time can be dedicated to your craft. I see nothing wrong with bringing something like that to someone's attention as long as you do it politely like that and you don't just attack them about like, why won't you just go out and get a real job? The people I noticed who tend to have an issue with anyone who says they're going to school for anything creative or artistic are the same people who spend thousands of dollars a year seeing movies, buying figurines of their favorite characters, buying fan art, buying books. And guess where all of that stuff came from? Movies, books, artwork. None of this exists without people who are artistic and who want to do that as a job, because I'm going to tell you right now, it takes a ton of time. We started this project a year ago, and it's finally just going to hit volume 1 in April of this year. It takes a very long time to do art. It takes a long time to create anything or to come up with an idea. So it is a lot of hard work. Don't think that the person's just sitting there slacking or something and all they're doing is going scribble, scribble, scribble. Okay, I'm done. Now give me money, because that is not how it works. I also don't appreciate it when people seem to think anyone who's artistic is like a failure in life, because honestly, as someone who has tried to get published numerous times, someone who has put themselves out there with their art and their writing for years now, at least a good 10 years now, I can tell you the only time you fail at anything artistic is when you stop trying and you stop creating. If you get denied by publishers 60 times, Try a 61st time, because that 61st publisher might just be the one who's looking for you. If you've done 3 Comic-Cons and no one bought your art because it just didn't seem to be the type that they like, try a different Comic-Con. Maybe the one an hour away from your house rather than 15 minutes away from your house is the one you need to be going to. And keep on trying those same Comic-Cons over and over again. You just don't know what's going to happen. We had a Comic-Con back in April to promote the graphic novel, and we barely made our table back. People just weren't interested in our style of art, in our type of art. And then in December, we brought back the exact same stuff we brought to April, and we were selling out left and right. We did great. We had a fantastic convention, but everyone else in the room said that they didn't even make their table back. You just don't know creatively what people are going to want. Never try to base what you're creating on what seems to be popular. If vampires are popular right now, don't assume that if you write a vampire book, people are going to like it. Because at the end of the day, I don't want you to feel like you're selling out to anyone. I want you to create something that you can be proud of, something that is inherently you. There's enough of somebody else that already exists. Bring us something we haven't seen before. See, this kind of thing, as you hear me rambling on now, you're understanding why it's so difficult to create a little better now. So I'm hoping that by understanding how difficult it is to make something artistic, to come up with something artistic, to go to school for something artistic, when you're in a classroom full of people who already know how to do what you know how to do, and you have to turn into something that looks completely different from theirs. I hope now you understand why instead of bringing someone down when they say they want to do something artistic, you should be lifting them up and nurturing what they care about. Maybe the reason why they haven't been doing well in your eyes is because they're not sure where to go from where they currently are. I knew a few people who had that problem back when I was still in college. Someone had kind of halted their creative writing, and I asked them why, and they said, well, I know how to write. I can write a great story, but I have absolutely no idea how to get published. And the same thing happened with someone who likes to draw. They were like, I know I'm good at drawing. I know that people like my stuff online, but I have no idea how to sell it and actually get a decent profit from what I'm doing. So if you notice that your child or your friend or sibling or whoever in your life likes being creative, they like doing artistic things, but in your eyes they haven't really gone anywhere with it, maybe ask them why. Ask them, hey, I noticed that you've been working on that story of yours or that piece of art of yours for a while. Have you thought about getting the story published? Have you thought about selling the artwork? And if they tell you they're not sure how, go online with them and help them look for people who are a good go-between to help them get published. People who have had good luck selling their art, and help them ask them questions about what they did to get there. These are the kind of things you can do to help instead of hinder. So from now on, when you think that someone's throwing their life away because they want to do something artistic with their life, think about how often you go to the movies. Think about how often you enjoy reading books or ebooks. Think about how often you enjoy looking at the cool figurines that are sold at Comic-Cons, and realize those things wouldn't exist without people like that person you know who wants to be artistic. And try your best in whatever way you can to help them when they're having a hard time with it. That's pretty much all the rambling that I have to say about that right now, although if I think of something else, I'll tag it on to the end of the video. And make sure that every day of your life you do something for yourself to make yourself happy.